Hi everyone, good evening. It is Saturday night, the 18th of August, and that's Sean.
And I got my tea.
How many days have you been doing your tea drinking? Almost a week?
There were 2 days in between when it was very hard and difficult to drink tea, which was Tuesday and Wednesday, because I was on the road a lot for work. So those were my Coke days. Every other day, except for Tuesday and Wednesday, every day's been a tea day.
And I don't know if you can see, my hair is straight today. It actually looks pretty decent.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that my hair, as you've seen in all the other videos, is naturally curly. With the weather, it hasn't been my best friend. And today
is day 2 of straight hair day.
Straight hair. I wanted to do my hair straight because I was seeing some great family members. My godfather, it was his 70th birthday party.
I'm gonna make you an offer.
My godfather. And it was just nice to get dressed up. Again, very casual, just wearing a simple dress. Shout out to LuLaRoe. Love it. Sean doesn't like it because because
$30 for a shirt or a pair of tights is ridiculous.
I like.
But she's still in her dress. Yeah, you can see I did not wear the Deadpool shirt.
No, he's got his Deadpool shirt.
I didn't wear the Deadpool shirt to the party. I've already gotten changed and in relaxed mode.
And clearly we have some guests who want to make an appearance. So, buddy, there's Marvel. He just laid down, and then there's Kona. They had a rough day without us. Right, puppies?
Hey, Marbles.
And this is the one that was trying to get my attention the whole time we were recording. Yeah, he wants to be anonymous.
So, you want attention, but you don't want to be on film?
Yeah. So, this is our little boy. Again, he is the love of my little life. Right, buddy? My lovey. He's my little boy. And Kona, as you saw, my diva girl, she loves to just relax and be around. Somehow there's fireworks. I don't know where they're coming from within the town, so if you hear them in the background, they're just local fireworks.
On the way home, we saw there were a couple parties going on. Whether they were birthday or what, I don't know. So
it's been beautiful weather today. We've been experiencing a lot of rain and nasty humidity. That's why, again, I was very nervous about having straight hair. My hair hasn't been doing well. But today was a beautiful day. A little humid, but nice change. Stop licking me, Marvel. That's why the camera's moving, because he's licking the hand that I'm holding the camera with. But, yes, there he is. He's such a good boy. So, fantasy football tomorrow. What's going on, sir?
So tomorrow is a draft.
Not our league.
Not my league, but I'm in my buddy's league, Francois, who I had previously mentioned. I'm in his league too, so tomorrow's his draft. And then the draft for my league, that's next week. So, but I'm still looking forward to winning. I don't care whether it's a free league or a money league. I want to win and I want to beat you so I can talk smack to you.
What I was also going to say is while he's catching himself up, Sean, how many fantasy football leagues are you in?
I'm in 2, and there is a random third that I'm in on Yahoo.
Okay.
And I know none of those people. It's a completely different format. I accidentally joined it last year. Didn't mean to do that. And
you really enjoyed it, right?
It was okay. I didn't even know. At first, I didn't know I was in it. Then once I realized I was in it.
How did you not know you were in it?
Because it is possible to accidentally join leagues.
Okay.
So I didn't even know I was in it until like week 3 or 4. And then I realized it's a completely different format. So it's offense and defensive players. And then I tried to give it a shot, but I had a lot of bad players. And then I started to kind of like really put the effort into the end. But like last year, I think I finished something like 4-12 or something. I don't know.
He's grooming her. Oh,
he's licking her eye. That's weird.
So to give you an update, I know last time we were talking, Sean, I had wanted him to do my makeup. That's still something that's on the docket that we're going to try and get on film. Again, we're still filming with an iPhone.
So the other night I did do the mud mask.
Yeah, he did it on his own.
It's a Dead Sea mud mask. I'm just trying to think. Like I was looking at it and I opened up the jar or whatever the container, whatever words of choice are. and I was trying to think to myself, how is this mud still moist in that jar, in the container?
It doesn't just have mud in it. It has other ingredients to kind of
so
keep
there's
it.
that. And the thing that sucks about it is it's good, but if you get it like too close to your lip or whatever, and you try to like wipe your lip or something, you actually can taste the salt from the Dead Sea, so it's a little gross. So I did that the other night, and it's so weird because
his face looked so good
because
after.
you like put your hand like into the mud and then like it dries to your face almost right away.
Mm-hmm.
And not only does it dry to your face, but it's like, because you feel it like where the mud is, you feel it tightening your face, and it's like you feel like you got like a mud facelift. It's weird.
The good thing about it is that, again, I have an oily complexion. That's why I got the mud mask. And for him to put it on, he's naturally, you don't use a lot of products on his face.
No,
so for him to use the mud mask, just because you're doesn't mean you can't use a mask. So to put it on his face, it really mattified his complexion, which is good. One thing I would like to try is try his head, just to see, mud mask his entire scalp. So maybe I'll do that in another video just to see, and then we'll do a before and after shot just so you guys can see. So ultimately, Sean had his excursion. It went really well at work. I have been trying to relax and just enjoy the final bits of summer, which is nice. Trying to think what other kinds of things.
If you think about it, based on what we were talking about before, there's really only true 2 weeks left of summer.
And
because you figure
we haven't really done a lot of travel.
In 2 weeks is Labor Day weekend.
Down the shore.
And then basically for that's kind of like once Labor Day weekend hits, it's like school's back in session.
Traffic picks up.
Yeah, and things are kind of back to the regular.
Mm-hmm.
So this summer went quick. We didn't. We said we wanted to do a lot of things this summer. We didn't get to do as much as we wanted to.
No, I would have liked to have gone down the shore a couple times.
But
we've only been down there once for Memorial Day weekend, which was really nice. Yeah.
And we'll probably get one more day.
We'll see if we can get it in there.
And we know we're gonna get down there at least one more time before I'd say probably
before when?
Sometime soon, because we have an end of the year barbecue that we know that we have to attend to.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't know when that is, so hopefully that doesn't interfere with something else we've already got planned.
And we are considering a countdown. In November, we're going to Las Vegas. I'm so excited.
Yeah, Vegas. See, that's going to be fun. So I think we might have to do an entire session recording just about Vegas, because we've been there. So November is going to be 3 years since the last time we were there. And so they've added a lot of new things. They have a new hockey team coming out this year, the Las Vegas Golden Knights.
And I've had my place in Las Vegas since 2011.
So 6 years.
So 6 years. And Sean has been with me 2 times already. I brought my parents out there.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. I get to celebrate my birthday in Las Vegas. That's so horrible.
We
very tough for me.
We've done some shows, but we're open to hearing from you guys what kind of things would be fun to do if you've been to Vegas before.
We always drive to the Grand Canyon. That's the one thing we do every time we go out there. All 2 times.
And the first time we got a fancier car. We got a Camaro to drive out there.
If you ever go to Vegas, you have to. I believe the rule is you have to get a convertible, because when you're driving up and down the strip, it's just you want to look up.
And depending on the car that you get, you can't necessarily see all of the lights, and it's just really, really cool to drive down the strip and look at everything, because there's just so much going on.
We've still never even done the Las Vegas sign. That's ridiculous.
No,
because it's always so busy. Everyone's always there.
Yeah, every single time we go, there's a huge line, and it's our timeshare is south of the strip, so we pass the Las Vegas sign every single time we would want to go to like dinner or to a casino. We don't gamble, but we could try. Very low bets, but I like to go see shows, so I've seen Cirque du Soleil out there.
Blue Man Group was
seen
fun.
Blue Man Group, really good. Rock of Ages. I think it would be nice. We've also done the Mandalay Bay. We've seen the aquarium.
The tiger and the
Sanctuary.
jungle cat.
And that I think is at the Mirage.
We've done Pawn Stars. We've done Count's Customs.
Yeah, so we went to the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop. We've also had a chance to go see some of the other shows because we won a trip out there. We've stayed at the Riviera.
Tanked for the custom aquarium.
That's really cool. So if any of you guys ever go out there, the place where they actually create all of those custom fish tanks, we met the General, which if you guys have seen the show, he's a really cool,
Go to the General
cool guy.
and save some time.
In addition, we were considering this time around possibly doing a evening dune buggy experience.
Yes.
Driving back.
The dune buggies at night through. So supposedly what the excursion is you get shuttled somewhere out of the city, on the outskirts somewhere, and then you do it at night. You can do it either during the day or at night. Either one. I want to do the one at night. So this way you have the dune buggies.
I can't do it because I can't see
driving
anything
back.
at night.
You're literally through the desert back into Vegas with the spotlights on top of the dune buggies, and then obviously while you're doing that, you see all of Vegas is lit up. And so that's what I want to do this year.
When we do excursions, we don't pay full price. I am a bargain shopper. I always look to see if there's any way we can do discounts. So with November, probably 3-4 months down the road, we really want to try and figure out what kind of things we want to do. We also are going with hopefully some family friends.
I was literally just saying
who are going to be joining us.
One thing that Christine is guilty of, usually she's actually getting ahead of herself.
What?
Usually when we're like at the end of a vacation or as soon as we come back, she wants to plan the next one.
I love to travel.
And that's fine. That's fine. At this point, we're 3 months, 2.5 months from our vacation, and we're already planning February's vacation.
Well,
Now, granted, it's a family vacation. We're actually not planning ourselves, but we're figuring out and planning on being a part of it.
Yeah.
But in a sense, yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
So with that being said, I had just come back from a work trip. My company had me require, for business, I had to travel to the United Kingdom. So I was in July in the UK, went to London, flew in to London, Heathrow Airport, and then was able to spend the majority of my time in the Oxford region. So that was nice. But Sean doesn't get that opportunity to travel a lot for work unless he's doing some deliveries out of state. But again, it's literally just take a vehicle to a client, drop it off, and then come home. So I get the benefit of actually traveling for work, but it was a very high pressure situation where I was. So it wasn't all fun and games, but the days that I did get a chance to actually do some sightseeing was really, really great. I'd say I probably got the travel bug maybe 2007 when I first did my first trip out of the country. I had purchased my passport maybe about 2 years before I actually went on a trip because I was a workaholic, would work all the time, and one of my co-workers that I used to work with said, why don't you just take a cruise ship out of New York and do a cruise to nowhere? So what a cruise to nowhere is actually you get on the cruise ship and there's no ports of call. So you're literally just doing a lap, a circle. It sometimes is 2 days of a cruise. And it's just to get out and see at least the ocean, see something. And I took him up. I said, you know what, let me just look it up. And at that point in time, you needed a passport. I think I had just transitioned where if you wanted to do certain things like cruises, you may not have needed a passport. Again, I don't recall. It was a long time ago. But ultimately, I got my passport. And I went with a couple girlfriends and we did a Kentucky tour. So if any of you have ever done a Kentucky tour before, it's a lot of young people. You would have liked it. A lot of young, I was in my 20s. It was great. And we got to see London. We got to do I think it was a ferry over from the cliffs of Dover through to Calais to France. And then I fell in love with Paris. We stayed in Paris for a couple days. And that's when I knew I loved Europe. And then after that, we took a train through to Amsterdam, interesting city, and had a really, really nice time. And then we came back home.
Those
so that was,
are
I
not
think,
hash brownies.
So Amsterdam, if you have ever been to Amsterdam, it's a really, really, really interesting city in the Netherlands, and I would love to go back just to see the tulips and to see the flowers, and to go to the cultural museums and other kinds of buildings that are out there. I would love for him to see it. And I think the only countries that you've been to in Europe were what?
Italy, France, Spain.
But you did the French Riviera. So for our honeymoon, we went to Barcelona. We'll talk about maybe that in another video. But it seems like everywhere we go as a couple,
yeah, it's weird. So
something always tends to happen. Again, I don't want to turn this all political.
When
but I'll let you
it's
speak.
funny
Explain.
when we went on our honeymoon,
Not
we
really
went
funny.
to we went to Nice,
Mm-hmm.
and again, we'll save this for another video. But yeah, I chose that excursion for one reason. Be prepared to laugh. Because it was a city that was in one of my favorite video games that I like to play. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, that is in my game. We should go there. And it was cool because we took a picture. We did a tour. We took a bunch of pictures and video. And then we came
Beautiful
back
city.
and it was on point.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
On point.
After, yeah, he played his video game, and I'm like, wait a second.
All the pictures that I took and that I saw in person is exactly
I'm like, I feel
how
like
it
I'm
looked
in
like
the video game. Like, I feel we were
so
there.
I was like, oh my god, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
But approximately 2 weeks after we came back, unfortunately, there was a terrorist attack in Nice on Bastille Day. And it just made me very, very sad. I'm thinking, oh no, we had been in those places. We had been on the coastline. We were on the main street. And it's kind of ironic, but also very sad because of what's happened this past week. There was another terrorist attack in Barcelona. Barcelona was our main port of call for our honeymoon, and then it was our return after the cruise that we had taken.
And we were there for 2 days.
We were there for 2 days, got to see some really great things, got to see the Olympic area. We drove past Olympic Village.
The football stadium / soccer.
We saw the most beautiful
We did the museum tour, all the
cathedral,
trophies.
the Gaudi Cathedral that's there.
Was it the La Familia?
Yes,
isn't it
Sagrada Familia. We got to see that.
called? Which they just finished
Yeah, we just finished it.
about 2 months ago.
Yeah. And we stayed in Les Ramblas, which is a very touristy area. We got to do some tapas, walk around, because there's a lot of pedestrian streets.
One thing that would there's two things that really stick in mind with me about spit it out, Sean. About Barcelona was one of my favorite shirts that I just love to wear. We actually got from there.
Yeah. You may point it out the next time you wear it in a video.
I forget the name of the line.
It says Raw.
But it's,
Raw, G-Star.
But I believe it's Pharrell Williams' clothing line, I think. I'm not sure on that.
I don't know. If you guys know.
And then we were walking up and down the streets a lot because from where our hotel was to the like the aquarium and then like the coastal stretch section down over there. It was maybe about 6 blocks. So you have all of these like little mini marts and locations and things like that.
The Super
And
Mercat. Remember the Super Mercat?
So if you look at them, it's called It's Super SUPER Mercat MERCAT.
And he's funny.
So
whatever.
a joke that me and Christina used to have, and sometimes we still do it, is about a meerkat.
I have no idea what a meerkat is.
So you know when we're about like meerkat, man. And then you go down and you see these stores that are all Super Mercat.
So he kept saying it the whole time we were there.
So that was kind of an ongoing joke that we went relentlessly for 2 days.
But we were able to go. Hold on.
Oh my god!
Hold on.
I just have to touch on this.
The beauty of travel sometimes,
Oh my God.
especially when you're in a hotel that includes breakfast, or if you're staying on a cruise ship and you get nice breakfast, that's like the best thing to have breakfast. But the hotel that we stayed in,
It was began with an H or something like that, right? It was like H21 something.
something H10 something, but
It's a European high-end
Hotel.
chain of hotels.
and shout out to Liberty Travel specifically because
My time.
Yeah, we had experienced an amazing trip because our travel agent Michelle was able to really do a great job helping us plan our trip, and the hotel we stayed in was in a really nice
It
spot.
was cool, yeah.
And
It's weird though.
It included breakfast.
The
so
breakfast,
talk about the breakfast.
The breakfast. It was the best breakfast. The breakfast at that hotel I had. It was the best breakfast I had. The 10, 11 days we were in Europe, anywhere, whether it was on the boat, anywhere, it was by far the best breakfast.
Yeah.
It's just weird to see how they have their style, but at the same point, it's like completely different. So they have scrambled eggs. Exactly the way I like them. Christy knows how it is. She does it sometimes too. But the scrambled eggs were on point. I think they had some bagels.
They had nice pastry.
And they don't have regular sausage.
Fruit.
Like they don't have regular sausage like we have, but they have the little hot dog wiener Vienna sausages.
Vienna
Those
sausages,
were awesome.
chorizo. So it was really a nice breakfast setup.
And it was buffet. It was pretty much all you can eat, whatever. They had like the muffins, the pastries, the croissants, the juices. If you want milk. And then and here's the thing that caught me off guard, right? They have two types of coffee. They have regular coffee, which is their style, what they're used to and accustomed to. And then they have a completely separate thing for American coffee.
Cafe Americano.
And I was like, but didn't even say it that way. It said on the little triangle name card, it said American coffee. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna go with the American coffee then if you're gonna give me a choice. And but no, it was good. The room was very fun. It was weird because you go in and it's like in an L zigzag shape the entire room, almost like a Tetris piece.
If some of you had ever been to Europe, again, depending on the hotels, they're not like traditional American hotels where you have a box. It's very simple. You have your bathroom connected. This was an actual suite. Again, it was our honeymoon.
Yeah, it was cool. It was nice.
It felt like an apartment.
But then, like, you open like the window that's next to our bed, and if you look like straight out the window, you see these buildings, and it's tiered. And I think they were. I'm not sure if they were.
Architecture in the city
I don't know if they were
amazing.
Apartment buildings or if they were other hotels. And then if you look to the right, you're having these like little buildings. Almost kind of not quite like a favela. That's not accurate, but in the sense, not at all like that. But
Not
in
at
terms
all.
of like where you're looking and you can see in, and it's just completely open, and it's like someone's laundry room, and they got all this. It's weird. It's just like completely open. There's like
a courtyard, but that was our experience. Some of you that may have traveled, you may have had a different experience, but to Sean it was new because he had never been overseas. It was his first real overseas trip.
And I felt very comfortable for not knowing Spanish.
He was with me.
Very well, but again,
but they were also very kind. They were very the Barcelona. I don't know how to say it. The Spaniards that live in Barcelona. I don't even know if that's the right term. Very kind. Again, touristy area. They know that there are a lot of travelers that may come and speak other languages, but they were very, very hospitable, and it was just a beautiful time. And Sean had even mentioned, let's go back to Barcelona another time in the future. And it's an amazing city, and I hope that people still feel comfortable and happy and want to travel to Barcelona even after this nasty, the terrible attack. But it's a late night. We could talk about our travels another time, but I just figured let's get an opportunity to say hello again, and also to say goodnight. And yeah, we'll probably do another video really soon. So hope to pick up wherever we left off. So good night, everybody. Say good night, Sean.
Bye.
Good night, Sean. Bye.